I've been catching up on some of the Netflix films that are recently released, and one I saw very recently was a documentary called Fyre, the Greatest Party That Never Happened. There's a little background to this. This was, I believe, in 2016. A new music festival was announced that was going to be held in the Bahamas, and all kinds of very elaborate promises were made about luxury accommodation, fine dining, huge stars, private Caribbean island, all these various things that seemed far too good to be true. And as someone who has no interest in music festivals, I was an outside observer on this, but it seemed odd. And it turned out the whole thing was a complete sham. It was a farce. And the film goes into great detail in how this ludicrous situation and the absolute carnage that resulted when the festival was actually opened, how it came to be. It's an interesting sort of forensic dissection of what happens when you let sales and marketing run a business, and fire anyone who says what you're saying is not realistic. You need to think more plausibly. You need to think in terms of what is achievable. Say, no, we can build these villas in 6 weeks, and we can have plumbing, and we can have this, and we can have that, and we can have unicorns for everyone. And anyone who disagrees with this is sort of shown the door. Says, no, it's fine. It'll happen. And we just have to believe in it, and it'll happen. So we see it unfold, and we see the festival firsthand, thanks to video cameras and video phones, rather. Video phones. What were they called, grandfather? But we see firsthand the complete chaos, with people sleeping in emergency hurricane tents. The fine dining was cheese on toast served in a polystyrene clamshell. Lawsuits and prison sentences resulted. There has been some controversy about the film because the marketing company, the delightfully named Fuck Jerry, that was involved in promoting the event originally, was also a co-producer on the movie. So they're given a much softer ride than they might otherwise. And in particular, I do recall a couple of people saying, well, we just believed what we were told. We were only following orders, which is not an excuse. Marketing, again, a business that exists at right angles to reality. There was a competing documentary called Fire Fraud, which I don't think has been released in the UK. It was produced for Hulu in the United States. That interviewed the perpetrator behind the entire scam, who appears to be a complete sociopath, totally unaware that he's caused chaos and ripped people off for hundreds of thousands of dollars, started another scam going while he was on bail, and gives a light to the notion that sociopaths are super intelligent, because this guy is a moron. But as a story of monumental hubris in the face of reality and common sense, it's absolutely fascinating, because you can see from very early on exactly where it's going, that people just believe the sales pitch, including the salesman, and they can no longer separate what is a sales pitch and what is achievable reality. I found it fascinating, and I would recommend it very highly, particularly if you've had to work with marketing departments or sales teams in the past. You may find it perhaps somewhat cathartic to know that you're not the only one.